Hey, so today temperatures is down in the 30 degrees like range outside. We got frost, our first frost. I finished the fiberglass on the front of the boat. I ran out of the fiberglass that you guys saw uh, that I was doing in the time lapse on the previous video. So I used what I found. I found it in the garage. I had epoxy, well, not epoxy. It was fiberglass resin. So when I found it, it was I think Bondo or Bondo brand. Oh, I'm not. Yeah, the container is sticky as shit. But yeah, man, that stuff. But yeah, I kind of wiped down the areas, some of the areas that I got a bunch of fiberglass on because, as you know, it got kind of crazy because I was in like really tight spaces, like under the console, because I didn't remove the cap of the boat, which I kind of regret. But it is what it is. I got the fiberglass glassed in. The one from the two-part that I bought from Amazon, it's pretty well dry. And then the other stuff that I got from the Bondo brand, I was only to get the container for the hardener was only like a fourth of the material in it. Like it cracked and it was inside of the container. So when I took the container off, all the like the catalyst, the hardener had poured out. So I was only able to get a little bit in there. So I used the hardener from the other stuff for the epoxy resin to finish it off, which probably is not going to work because it's probably not the same chemical compound. So I went and touched the fiberglass right here. I touched all that and it's pretty well, it's still a little, no, it's dry. A couple areas where I laid it on a little thick is slightly tacky, but for the most part it's all laid down. Now I fucked up because we're watching the videos online on YouTube about the epoxy resin and then the normal fiberglass resin. I went on Amazon and I ordered the epoxy resin with the fiberglass that I ordered. The chop, it's almost like a chop stream, but it came in a roll over there. So when you lay that stuff down, the epoxy resin is so much thicker and stickier. Once you lay it down, you actually pull fiberglass out of the fibers. So I had to roll back over it to make sure I added another layer, make sure it was coated good. Use that chip brush, which I wanted a roller, which it wouldn't have made a difference with epoxy resin. So if you do this and you're going to use epoxy resin, make sure you get the proper, I don't know the numbers on it, you got to get the fiberglass that looks more tightly woven. I don't know if you guys know about welding blanket. So welding blanket is typically like orange. I think it is, like maybe that's the standard. So with the orange welding blanket, you can see the weaves in it, and that's actually, I believe, fiberglass too. But the fiberglass that you're looking for looks like that. It's like almost like a finishing fiberglass. And if you put that epoxy on there, then it'll just soak it up and then you can continue about your way. I got the other stuff that's more like you could pull it apart, chop strand stuff. So it became a little bit of a mess, but you can use it, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. So what I did was I just, went ahead and went through with it. I had the garage at about 70 degrees at the time. With the fumes and the weather yesterday, it was totally fine to do that. So it was all right. That's why I was able to harden up. I had to leave the door cracked to the front door last night because, and the fan's going, that fan and then a smaller fan that I got. I had to leave that going because there's a lot of fumes and I got 2 dogs in the garage. So I didn't want to fume them out. Plus this stuff could be being reactive. I didn't want it to maybe like flash off or cause a fire of any way. So I did keep the fire extinguisher nearby. None of the epoxy resin really got warm. The epoxy, the resin that I use from the Bondo brand, it got a little warm. I'm not gonna lie. But the other stuff, the epoxy resin with that fiberglass and the brush and all that stuff, it didn't get warm at all. It was just like, it was warm in the garage, but I didn't have anything to worry about. But now I got to do the back of the boat. I don't have really any time today. I have to go to a doctor's appointment and then pretty much stay up north because if I live an hour away from my job on a good day. So, I don't think I have time today. Plus, my other epoxy resin should be coming tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. I could go to Walmart right now in my local town, about 15 minutes away, and go get resin, which is more suited for the fiberglass that I have and pours a lot easier, and you can brush it on and, be easier. Or I can wait till tomorrow because I don't have time today to get it. So I can wait till tomorrow and then, struggle busted with a bunch of the epoxy resin that I really don't like because it was pulling up the fiberglass, like I said. And it was just a mess, it was just, instead of just pouring it, brushing it in, throwing another layer, brushing it in, it was just sticking to the brush and it didn't want to, the fiberglass didn't want to form. So, so I'm kind of weighing my options right now. I think that I should probably cancel that stuff. Let's back up. So, according to Walmart.com, the resin that I could buy is 4 boats for automotive use, obviously for fiberglass, whatever. And it is like $23. Now, to do the back of the boat, on these stringers, I'm thinking that $20 will probably get me. That's how much it costs. $20. I already got the fiberglass. It probably will get me through the whole thing. Check this out. But if I bought 2 of them, that's only like 40, 46, maybe 47, maybe $48. So the epoxy resin that I got wasn't expensive, but with shipping and everything, even free shipping from Amazon, it was like $60 or a little over $60, maybe a little bit more. So it's not Total Bolt brand because Total Bolt brand was actually $100 and something for like the gallon, which I would have probably got the same results because it's epoxy and my fiberglass doesn't match. Missed that keynote. So I'm thinking about running to Walmart, grabbing maybe 2 of those just in case. Because I don't know, I'm going to have to probably do more fiberglass work around the boat for different holes and stuff like that anyway. But one thing I need to check is the freaking little catalyst bottle. Oh, yep. That little bottle had a crack in it. And I'm not sure if I purchased it that way or it was sitting in the garage maybe for a little bit too long because the temperature in my garage fluctuates. The walls are insulated, but the ceiling goes to kind of like an attic-like situation, which none of this is insulated up top. That's why my garage, you can get it hot or it's cold, in the fall, winter months, and the garage door is semi-insulated, but not very well. So I'm thinking about running over to Walmart. Doctor's appointment at 11 o'clock. I think it's about 8:30 right now. If I run out, grab it, and come back and have it on deck, I could keep it in the house where it's nice and warm. And me having to go to work, I could most likely come back Friday. That will be, Friday morning. And I could hit it hard, and I could go ahead and finish the back of the boat and be ready for foam. Now, with that being said, I don't want to jump the gun with the foam. I bought Total Bolt foam. But I have kind of a situation. Is that in this rod locker, there was fiberglass. There was fiberglass sitting there with foam, and then when the foam failed, it made the bottom of that rod locker soft. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna need some sort of board or something to go underneath there in order to lay the fiberglass. So if I could do that, put a board in there and then fiberglass over it, it'll be that much stronger. Obviously do both sides of the board before I put it in. and then, you know, lay in fiberglass inside of there. Now, one of the things is if I do that, I can make this storage area a little bit bigger if I wanted to by dropping it down. And when I put in foam, it won't be that big of a deal. So it's all these micro things that are making me like kind of stop and think and make sure that I'm doing it properly, because I don't want to do it and not have any room. And then yesterday I forgot, and I'm kicking myself in the butt, but it's not done yet. It's not, this back end isn't done yet. So my boards are actually higher because of where the water was sitting down there, and then the plywood that you do put down there, the boards that you do put over the top of that, I actually have it higher than the previous fiberglass in the board that was back there. So what I need to do right now is ensure that, with all that being said, that my fuel tank is still at an adequate level to go back in there. Because if it's not, I'm gonna have to cut my stringers to fit the gas tank in there. You know, the hoses aren't really a big deal. I'm just gonna run those either above, or I'm gonna run it. The one needs to go down low, and then the other one goes above the board. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that one out, because if I put in this gas tank right now and I see that it doesn't fit, I'm gonna have to start cutting stringers. So it's a good thing that I didn't have enough epoxy to glass the back end. Plus it was getting late. I had been working at it probably for like 4 hours. The time-lapse video made it seem like it was like 30 seconds or something, but which is awesome, but I wish. But I got this epoxied in Bondo. The boards are down, and I got those 2x4s which have resin on them, so those are good to go. So those are good to go. All the stringers are glassed, and then I have to go back over. Now, like I said before, if I get the resin, it's easier to spread with the chip brushes that I have, and then I could just lay the glass on it if everything is good. Now, to cover the height from here, which this is level going across, I checked the level on that before I put those boards in there. It's just to help stabilize everything. Now, going across, it's not the same height over here, going across here. So now I need to figure out and make sure that whatever boards that I cut to go that way and also this way, that are also level, because there's a block of foam right here that was actually dry. It's for flotation on the back end of the boat. So I need to make sure that from there, that stringer over to here is level. That way we don't have more soft spots, or we don't have spots where if you put weight down on this side of the board, it won't start sagging. It'll have something to bite onto. I just have to be really, really careful, because I don't know how thick the fiberglass is going that way. So if I put a board down there and I try to screw it down, I could probably screw it right through the hull of the boat. So all those things you have to really be careful of. Now, lastly, before I let you guys go, and then I'll get into another video, probably some B-roll of like me doing the back end fiberglass. I have to do the back wall back here, and I have gaps. So I tried to Bondo it, but I ran out of Bondo, because the Bondo has fiberglass in it. So technically, it will probably be the best material to put in there. But that same Bondo fiberglass is also, even if you let it harden up, it goes from soft to hard. You know what I mean? It's like the equivalent of a paste, and then it's hard. So I had to spread it out to keep it from flashing. So, and by flashing, I mean hardening up, and then I can't even use it. So I have to figure out something. Am I going to put another board in there and then glass it in? Or am I going to get more of the Bondo fiberglass and then stuff it in there and kind of build it up little by little? You know, those are just the options that I have, because some people just say, okay, whatever, foam it. But I don't want the same thing to happen to this boat with the fiberglass as the last time. Is when you get water going down the boat, you know, it just stays in the boat. which I try to take care of my things. My boat outside is covered, fully covered, and at an angle. So any water that gets in there is going to run out. I got the plug out and everything. I check it like once a week. So I'll let you guys go. But that's kind of like the game plan and the ideas that's going on in the back end. I made that situation myself. So I'm going to grab the gas tank and put the gas tank in here and then see if it actually fits. If it fits, cool. Because I have to account for probably a 1/2 inch more of plywood. So a 1/2 inch higher than what I'm about to put it in, because I have the deck that goes up top of here across. I have that to repair and put back on. So I have to make sure that everything can fit in here. Obviously batteries and stuff like that will fit in there. But what I wanted to do was have it where I had a gap. I had a bigger air gap. And that air gap will help water dry out. And in the center where you have the bilge pump and all that stuff, I'm going to probably put I'm probably going to just leave it open. That way I can easily get to the back of the boat if I need to get to the bilge pump, or I need to get to the live well pump, because I have not checked those pumps when I bought this boat. So my assumption is they probably don't work. And if they do work, awesome. But at some point they will fail.
All right, we got the back door. It looks horrible, but it's glassed in. 3 layers. I just gotta let that dry. Let it all dry. And I could start the foam tomorrow. So everything's glassed in, sealed in. I think I got one more piece of glass to do up here in the corners. I'm gonna glass that in. But other than that, that's a wrap for that. I only got one more little spot, but I'll do it tomorrow though. I ain't got no more time today. I'm burnt. Alright, thanks for watching. See y'all in the next one. So I got as much done as I could do today. So that's it for today. I did the front and back of the boat. None of the stringers are topped off yet. So I'm gonna go in the house, I'm gonna order more from Amazon. There's a couple voids that I need to fill in. One of the last few boards I did in the front by the helm, one in the back of the helm, what I see is I actually got too much back there. So it ended up going a little higher than what I wanted, but I'm gonna shave it all down with the Sawzall. And one spot in the back, as you guys saw, was pretty high. So I gotta cut that down with a Sawzall. But it's best to do it in those small portions, which is actually good because I'm new to it. And all those small pours that I had to do actually worked out pretty good, because I was able to like pour it, watch it run, do its thing, and then make another pour to try to fill it in wherever I could. So if I would do it again, I'm gonna do, most likely I'll do the small pours and big pours and have like dual cups. That way I can do both, and it'll, in the bigger voids, it'll be easier to fill those in faster. And then wherever I need to finesse, I'll use the smaller cups. But I'm gonna go in and order more total boat, and then I'll do 2 more quarts of it, and that should hopefully fill in the back sides and then kind of little spaces here and there. The rod locker, I need to slowly but surely get that up to where I can put the wood underneath it and then fiberglass that in really nice. So when you put your rod in there, everything's nice and smooth, no jagged edge, just catching your rod, or your hand for that matter. The surface of the boat is still garbage right now. It's all sticky from the fiberglass, from doing this. I got spots a little bit of here and there, but overall it was a pretty simple process. Once I warmed the garage up to about 70 some degrees in here, it started really kicking off, as you guys saw in the videos, a couple of videos. But so far so good. I'm slowly but surely working at it. I might have to go back to work tonight. If I don't, there's nobody locally that has like foam boat epoxy in my area. So I'm at the mercy of Amazon or TotalBoat.com, which I get from Amazon because it's free shipping. and usually a couple bucks cheaper, and they deliver super fast. So if I go order it now, I'll probably get it Monday or Tuesday, which works out. I can start, finish it off Monday or Tuesday. So with that being said, I thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys for, if you made it to the end, thanks for watching. And if you got anything to comment, let me know what I'm doing wrong. I could be doing better. It'll be much appreciated, because I'm new to all this. And this foam actually is working out way better than I thought it would. I was really worried about it because I don't have any exact measurements to fill up every gap on the boat. That's why I started with the 4 quarts, which went pretty far. If I didn't have to repair the whole floor and the whole back end, it would have been relatively easy fix. And this stuff is still flashing off, still growing in certain spots that I poured a minute ago. But for the most part, the main parts that I did earlier, they're already like rock solid. And I was walking on the stringers to do more fiberglass work, and those were solid. Now the boat is even more solid, so I'm very happy with the stability that I got in this boat. Once I took the foam out, it was flexing quite a bit. So now I feel a lot more comfortable with the foam and the boards and the fiberglass. Once I get the motor running and finish this whole process, I'll be feeling way more confident to get this boat on the water and test it out and do the whole 9 yards with that. So stick with me, guys. I know it's a slow process. Usually guys do like damn near the whole build in one video, but I'm at the mercy of work and time and family and the whole 9 yards. So I'm just trying to get as much done as I can within the few hours that I'm awake. I haven't had an off day in a while. So that being said, I'll check you guys out later.
What's up? So we're working pretty much on and off all day. And right now I put the Bondo on. You guys might have saw the Bondo. Then I put I let it dry real good. I ran and grabbed some more sandpaper, a new sander. Then I'm back taking it down. I didn't record it yet, but I took it down to 60, 80 grit. And then I'm gonna go back over it. First I'm gonna do 60 to get the Bondo down, because the Bondo has fiberglass in it. So it's pretty rock solid, it's pretty tough. So I want to get that knocked down, and then I'm gonna hit it with the 80. And then if the 80 goes good, and I don't need to fill in any more voids. Fill in the holes, I was doing, filling it in, but now I'm gonna come back over some of the bigger holes and then fill those in with, just a little bit of Bondo. And I'm not trying to cake it back up like I was before, to try to get a nice base. So I'm gonna do that. Get some more Bondo on here, very little. I was able to find, my bad, I got stuff in my face. I was able to find more Bondo. They actually sell it at Harbor Freight. So I was able to get Bondo. Yeah, I was able to get the Bondo at Harbor Freight with the fiberglass in it. So that worked out, saved me a whole trip. I thought I was gonna have to go to another store. But, so I got it done. I'll stop talking and let you see kind of like the work I'm doing. And I found out, I might have mentioned this previous to this, but the undercoat to this boat, somebody must have painted it before, maybe professionally, because it looks like it's a pretty decent job, a layer of gel coat and paint. The original paint is like blue. It's like blue or red or something. So I was looking online for the models for this boat and see if I could find anything that was kind of close to the color and everything. So they made these in a lot of colors, but one particular thing that they did though is a lot of these boats have the glitter, the flake in the paint, and this one doesn't. So it's kind of weird because it doesn't have that much flake. It's got a little bit on some of the logos, but not like a normal bass boat, kind of flashy like you would normally expect a bass boat to be. Which I doubt that I'm gonna put flake on here once I get all this white sanded down and ready to repaint. A lot of the areas of the boat I'll probably just sand down. I'll probably clean them, sand them down, and then I'll start hitting certain spots and see how the paint blends in from old to new. If it's not blending good, then I'm just gonna paint the whole interior, and then this top seal going across, going down the boat, whatever I could really get to, because I don't think I have a painter that can paint something that detailed, and I would have to go out and buy another one. I got an air compressor, so I could do it, but it's just more money to put in a boat that I'm probably gonna sell, most likely sell. So I don't want to do something and then somebody, basically don't give a fuck that I did it, or say they don't like it. So there's plenty of other stuff to do on this boat, including the motor and everything else to do to appease people into buying this boat. I want to try to spend the money where it needs to be spent, not just blow it on really good body work, because I care about the body work. And if I was keeping this, I probably would try to come up with, take off these logos and do a custom paint and talk to my wife, because she's really good at stuff like this, and just figure out like a nice design with a shit ton of flake in the paint, like American flag Spider-Man thing. But that being said, I'm trying to sell it so people can do whatever they want with this after they buy it. But right now, I'm gonna get back to bondoing and sanding. I was gonna go further down the boat and start sanding that down from 60 to 80 or whatever to smooth out a lot of these softer areas. But what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna bondo, and then once I'm done with the bondo portion, then I'm gonna hit it with the I'm gonna come back, let it dry, and hit it with the sandpaper. That way I can go from relatively the back of the boat to the front of the boat. So, all right, well, I'll shut up, and next time you see me, it'll probably be some sort of time lapse or something along those lines. All right, y'all. All right, so I got another round of bondo. It was holes, little pinholes, like here from sanding, like the pitting and stuff like that. You see that one too. Yeah, I hit up that side. Let me go over there and show you. Yeah, like that side there was some pitting, and then that side it was more pitting, and there was a hole right there. You can still kind of see it. But I put on a lighter later. I was able to do it because I have a spatula. I mean, the proper like scraper and stuff to do it now. But some of these holes are going to stay, but most of these holes are going to end up going. These are for the gas. This one and that one over there are for the gas. The vents, I believe, that was for gas. I think this one was a vent. I'm not 100% sure, but I know those two in the back were vents. So I got those done, and then work my way up to the front. I'm just sanding it down little by little, like right here. So I got more. Oh, sorry. I got more bondo here to cover up those holes. He had fishing rod holders. It looked like. Then on the front of the boat, I got more. Some tripping edges in here. Now I loaded this one up because it had some bigger holes, like kind of like that. I'm gonna get this plate off here and see what's underneath it. This is a receiver for trolling motor. And then like those holes, I want to get those holes covered up too, because I don't know when the trolling motors will actually go. So I want to get those covered up, get them in there, nice and bondoed up with the fiberglass in. And then right there, this cord I think goes to the connection for the trolling motor, which I'm not really sure. There's loose wires in there and stuff. So all this wiring, like especially that, is going to have to be redone. This deck, I'm thinking about taking it completely off, but I know that's going to be like super excessive. So I might just end up fiberglassing some of it and sanding the fiberglass down. And then the holes going around, those holes are going to get reused for the cover that goes over it. So we'll see. And then I want to sea deck or might just carpet it. I don't know yet. But yeah, I got all these bondoed up. That's where the fishing rod holder went. And then this hole right here is where the Garmin unit was. They had it up here, but it was facing the front of the boat. So I'm guessing when you were standing up there, you could look back. Nobody wanted to run the wires from here to there, which is kind of lazy, but Yeah, that's as far as I got right now. I'm gonna let this Bondo dry, let it cure up, and then I'm going to start sanding it back down, get it smooth. Still undecided about the sides of the boat, what I'm gonna do there. I might end up taping those off and just coming with the heat gun and peeling those stickers off as best I can. But as you can see, like the gouge from trying to get it out, I got some pretty big holes. And Bondo with the fiberglass can fill it in. I got another container, and in this hole right here, I gotta figure out what the diagram has for this boat to see if I can match it up. There's a plate that came with the boat. If it goes there, I'll put it back there, but I prefer not having a giant hole in the front of the boat. So, all right, let this stuff dry and then hit it with some more sandpaper. And I think I'm gonna take that off. I don't see no point of leaving it on, which I don't have a trolling motor that I want to put back on here. I got one that came with the boat, but it's one of those old ones. And then, gouges like this. I'm gonna come over with the sander, sand those back down so it's nice and smooth. Start with a 60, move to 80, and then go higher from there. All right. So hey, I just wanted to do a overall what is going on in this set of videos because it's kind of mixed, mad, hodgepodge. Everybody's at home on fall break, so I'm shooting videos, not shooting videos, doing things and not recording them. So I want to get you guys up. I'm waiting on foam. I have to cut some areas down because they went too high. I'm waiting on foam. It'll be here tomorrow, front and back. I need to fill in the back side on this side and that side, and then I'll be putting in the plywood. I don't know if that plywood is enough plywood. I'll probably need another half sheet, or you can only buy it in a full sheet. So just to run through this real quick, I got the foam in. I got to figure out what to do with the rod locker because that was like fiberglass. So I'll probably foam in some more right there. With foam, you have to build the lowest spot up because it starts as a liquid, so it runs down and it comes back up. So I had to build that up in layers in order to get it up this high. So when I get the other stuff, it's a total bolt from Amazon that I ordered. I'm gonna be mainly filling in this area, under here, kind of topping these off, and then doing those sides. Those sides are gonna probably be the most tedious. Now, if the foam levels aren't gonna reach up there, if I feel like it's not gonna reach, I'm gonna do a low level of foam, and then I'll probably put maybe some sort of border 2x4-ish situation there to keep that whole deck level and be able to take weight of gas tank, because that's a lot, weight of battery, that's a lot, batteries and everything else. The second part of this video pretty much is me hitting up these spots on the boat. So, hole, but cleaning up the holes and stuff a little better. That way when I repaint and gel coat everything, it's nice and smooth. I do have a couple spots that I missed with the Bondo the second time around, but this is the second go of Bondo. And as you'll see in the video, I'm Bondoing and sanding and doing all that stuff in the video. But just an update, that's what it is. It's just me kind of jumping around, waiting on foam to finish this. I have the boards. I have not epoxy resin the whole board yet, because I want to get it in place, get it fitted, and then start epoxy resin and make sure the measurements are correct, so I'm not wasting a very expensive piece of wood. When you do the foam, it is a 1 part resin, 1 part foam to 1 part activator. Excuse me. So it's a 1 and 1. So when you get these measurement cups, usually use a bigger cup than this, but all sizes have the measurements going all the way around them. So 1 and 1, that's what you go by. That is 1 and 1. Bondo, if you don't know how to do Bondo, it's labeled on the actual product itself. It's labeled pretty good actually. But what you do is you'll paste up the Bondo, paste it up, and then you'll mix. Same thing, kind of like the foam, cream hardener. This is like the epoxy hardener or in some cases, the activator for the phone. So you'll pour a certain portion of this into there. And if you want longer times to work with your Bondo, you can use less than this product. Or if you are ready to go, you can use a little bit more. It'll tell you in the container. But Bondo brand with fiberglass has been awesome. This, like I said, is second go around. So I'm just going around the boat. Now, over there, I just took the whole console apart. All that's taken apart. I took out the screws for the switches that is over there. I'm not doing any electrical right now. Electrical will be a complete, probably week, 2, 3 week, 4 week process that I'm not getting into right now. The seats, I don't care. That's why they got fiberglass all over them. Doesn't matter. There are compartments underneath there. I want to put drain tubes. They go from here to the back of the boat. Now, I'll let you guys go, but I just want to make sure we are all on the same page for what I'm doing, because with fall break, I've been working, trying to hang out with the family, trying to work on this boat, barely getting any sleep, and trying to figure out things and prices and everything. The whole front of the boat, you will see me working on that later in the video, but I'll probably do EVA foam up there and carpet down here, EVA foam here. Don't know, we'll figure it out later. Not a big deal. Looking online, I've seen steering wheels. Steering wheels are reasonable prices. I have one already, but I don't have the adapter. But to order a brand new one isn't that expensive. Covering these holes, I already have fiberglass, I already have epoxy resin. I might do that, or I might find a replacement light for it. I don't know yet. But once sanding this all down, I've been spraying it down with degreaser and wiping it down really good, and then applying the Bondo. It's all about prep. You want to prep the area for anything you do. Typically, you will want to use something like acetone, but when I went out to get a new sander, I conveniently somehow forget to get that. So tomorrow I'll be getting that. I'll be grabbing that. But in the meantime, just to clean the surface, I'll be using Purple Power to degrease the area, let it dry, and then apply the Bondo, and it's been sticking really well. So use what you got. If you keep that stuff on hand. Acetone, degreasers of all sorts. That one is really good. But yeah, that's it so far. I just want to make sure everybody knows what's going on. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get to it. Hey, what's up, guys? So I just wanted to explain what I tried to explain in the previous video. So I went over to Home Depot and found out they did in fact have fiberglass mat. I think it was a maybe 4x12, 4x8, somewhere around there. Pretty big sheet though. So I was able to do my patchwork, and it's a lot easier because when you buy epoxy resin, some epoxy resin is actually very jelly. As you can tell by the container right there, it is super sticky, super thick jelly. And the harder it gets, as you work, it becomes more of a really jelly consistency until the point where you can't use it or it dries. But this is the mat that you want to get if you're using the epoxy resin with the hardener. You want to make sure you're getting the right fiberglass, because this other stuff that I mentioned previous, all it was doing, which it did harden up and it is rock solid, but what you end up doing is this chop strand stuff, you end up pulling out more of the fiberglass, and in turn most likely making it slightly weaker than what it needs to be. Now the epoxy resin was set up, and that itself is extremely hard, but the right tool for the right job, and I did not have it at the time, and I did not know I could locally source this stuff. Not a big area, probably would have took me, I think it was $7 for this sheet. Probably would have cost me maybe $40 or something, maybe more, I don't know. Because if you do double to triple layers, then it might have took more. So right there, each area that I have fiberglass on is 2 layers, smoothed out, and as soon as it dries, then I can hit it with some sandpaper and do all that number. But yeah, that's why I just want to throw that in there. Make sure you guys are ordering the right things. I know it's really difficult to order things online sometimes, but make sure you're getting the right mat for the right epoxy.